Alright there everyone, how's it going? So, today we're back again, reviewing a load of 3D animated films. I'm here with Scott, as per usual with this one.
Yo.
So,
yeah, we would have had one for you last week, but I kind of passed out and missed our time.
yeah, shit happens, but still. Anyway, so first film, because I forgot to mention this one, Chicken Little. Really, really weird, bizarre film, to be honest with you.
It's just not good. It's needlessly mean.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, the entire film is just mean for the sake of being mean to the character.
Yeah, I mean, Chicken Little just gets treated like crap for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, legit. It feels like everyone in the town just shits on him for the sake of shitting on him. Like, there's no actual, thing that justifies the doing.
Yeah, and the dad's the biggest waste of space.
Yeah, I'm sure you lot have seen several videos talking about the fucking dad.
Yeah, Cook, whatever his name is, Cluck the Cook. Honestly, he's just such a bell end.
He's probably one of the worst animated characters, just in terms of as a character. He's often number one on a lot of worst animated dads lists.
Definitely by far. Yeah.
Yeah, literally every top 10 worst animated dad list I've seen, he's always been number one, consecutively. He's just an awful character, the only time he actually seems to give a shit about his son, besides the forced emotional bit at the end, is when his son is popular because of baseball.
Yeah, that's so confusing that all the town just suck up to him just because of baseball.
Yeah. And it's one of those, as soon as his son has another one of those the sky is falling moments, he completely shuts back on them again.
Yeah.
What the fucker?
I mean, what confused me with the film though, it was just so blunt. There was one bit where the coach was saying, "Popular kids, you're on one team, unpopular kids over there," and it's just 3 or 4 of them or something, and they just all throw the balls at them, and it's just this is quite mean for
versus unpopular.
Yeah, I mean it's quite mean for a kids' film, to be honest.
It is it's very mean for a kids' film. There's literally a character who's just called the Ugly Duckling.
And runt of the litter.
Yeah, who's fucking giant.
Daft.
Yeah. Fish out of water, who is just a walking movie reference. Seriously, if you watch the fish, he's doing a reference every scene he's on screen.
Yeah. And the jokes.
He is doing a fucking reference somewhere.
Yeah, and the jokes absolutely suck as well.
Oh yeah, the jokes. Yeah, the jokes are not good. Also, they used more dated fucking hip hop songs, fucking "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
That's a banger by R.E.M. To be fair, the only one I didn't like was the what's it called? Tell You What I Want.
Oh yeah, there was also "I Will Survive."
No, that's in my opinion, that's a bit naff. But I love "End of the World," to be honest. R.E.M.
I mean, okay, yeah, "End of the World" is a good song. I'm just saying, they're using music that was popular at that time.
Yeah.
A lot of anime movies that are often bad do. They don't try and make their own. They just find a pop song or something that's popular at the time and throw it in and think it's good writing.
Yeah, true. But yeah, overall, Chicken Little, just a bit of a crap film, really. Disney just, they wasn't even trying. It was just a big bag of arse. And that's all I can say about that, really. Crap film.
Yeah, same. It's one of the, there's been a few, movies like this where we've been it's kind of okay, not bad. Chicken Little's probably, the first one we've had on these podcasts where I actually legit say, just don't watch it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just a new level of crap, especially for Disney.
Yeah. Yes, there are worse films out there, but it's just needlessly mean, and by Disney standards, it's really low quality.
Yeah.
And, just don't watch it. It's not a good movie in the slightest.
Anyway, on to the next 3 films. Well, we're going to talk about a trilogy now, right? Open season. So obviously, let's start with the first one. Decent, I guess. It's okay. The first one, not too shabby. Bit of a bit weird. Some of the comedy's okay. Some of the action sequences are really good, like when he's going to when
There's
Boogie's
some jokes that are alright. alright, but there are some that are basically just resorting to toilet humor.
Yeah, yeah. Like when Boo goes into Shaw's house, that scene had you on the absolute edge of your seat.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty creepy scene. Like somehow Shaw took a nursery rhyme and made it scary.
Yeah. Well, you got to thank Gary Sinise for doing that because he's a phenomenal voice actor and a phenomenal actor in general. You know,
yeah.
He's
like,
just a
I will
beast.
admit, like I didn't think Sean was that intimidating. Like that scene actually did make him intimidating.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just like slowly like fucking hunting while like using that fucking nurse. The thing is, I'm pretty sure he chose that rhyme because like he knows like that like those boobs thing.
Yeah, yeah, because I can't remember his owner's name. Was it Emily? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think yeah.
His owner really babied him and gave him the high life and made him a circus performer. So.
Yeah.
But he goes in the wild with the Ashton Kutcher deer, Elliot, Smelliot, and then
there's the fucking like head deer fucking voiced by Kronk.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't actually know the voice actor's name, but it's basically the guy who voices Kronk.
Voices Kronk. He voices Joe from Family Guy. I think he's been in How I Met Your Mother. I think he was in that. I don't know.
He's been in a lot. In a lot of stuff he's in, a lot of time he does just play like the big idiot.
Yeah, yeah, but he's good at playing the big idiot. To be fair.
Yeah, his voice does match quite good.
Quite a cool bloke. But
yeah.
Patrick Warburton. There we go.
Yeah, him.
Top geezer.
Yeah, no,
Rules of
engagement.
engagement.
I guess let's do our breakdown of open season. We didn't do one with Chicken Little properly because not with full time.
He was in B Movie. Oh yeah, he was that bloke with the shoes.
He was the bloke with B Movie. These are winter boots.
Legend, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is probably one of the most memeable quotes in the movie. The fucking winter boots.
Class. But yeah, open season. So it's about this geezer called Boog, and it's sort of like it isn't a serious coming of age film, but it's like him getting used to the wild. You know.
Yeah.
It's him.
So it follows a bear named Boog who has been adopted by a ranger named, which is when we talked about earlier, named Emily. And as James said, Emily completely babied him. So like, she would like give him treats, gave him like bed and that. Like he didn't have to do anything for himself, more or less.
Gave him a telly and a toilet.
Yeah. And he performs in like a little circus act kind of deal. One day, like he, as you said, like when they go into town, they find the Sean, who's the main bad guy and hunter of the movie, and he has a deer strapped to his like car, which is Elliot, that he ran over on the road. Elliot begs Boog to free him, which he does. And then Elliot shows up at Boog's house and basically just does whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah. He just messes up Boog's humble abode.
Yeah, and then he convinces Boog to go fucking raid a shop for food.
Yeah.
And then
And Boog
then
loves
Sean
it.
starts chasing Elliot again later on after Boog kicks Elliot out. At which point Elliot accidentally goes to Boog's show to try and hide, and because they're behind a curtain, it makes it look like Boog is killing Elliot when he's trying to get Elliot out.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes he might be pulling a bit of the curtain, and it might look like his gut or something, or he might be pulling. I forgot what he was pulling, but it was a scarf.
It was some rope or something.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, Emily was told that she had to get rid of that. She had to let Boog go. So she drops him off in the wild along with Elliot.
Yeah, somehow Elliot's there. I thought they would have just gave him back to shore, but there you go.
But, I mean, technically it was a live deer and it wasn't hunting yet.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
That was one of the big plot points of it was hunting season. It wasn't hunting season yet, and yet Shaw had already killed the deer.
Yeah.
Because if you listen, after the show, the head park ranger even tries to arrest Sean, but Sean runs away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. In the wild, like, while Boog's trying to get used to it, every animal you can think of kicks his ass.
Basically, yes. A skunk does, I think,
The skunks fucking spray him, the Scottish squirrels
Oh, yeah!
with acorns.
Yeah, the Scottish
Fucking
squirrel was class.
beavers beat the crap out of him somehow. The fucking salmon fucking are kung fu masters.
Yeah, which made no sense, but still,
Yeah.
banter.
And there's the fucking, like, the pack of deer, controlled, of course, by, Kronk.
Yeah, who were just dickheads to him as well.
Yeah, the ones there, they're completely dickheads to Elliot.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Overall,
That's fun.
yeah, overall decent film. I like the bit when Boog destroyed the dam. That was quite funny. That action sequence was quite good.
Yeah, I like the bit, like, where Boog's done dealing with their shit, because, like, the, muscle deer tries to do his weird intimidating thing where he leans in, and, like, Boog just doesn't flinch, and then the deer just, like, fucking breaks down crying.
Weird.
If you remember that bit.
No, I
This
don't
is
remember.
before, like, okay, yeah. So it's because Boog destroyed the dam, he, like, wrecked their homes, so they had nowhere to hunt, and they were in the hunting territory now, right? So, like, and Elliot, being Elliot, fucking told them that Boog had, like, his shed that they were trying to get back to. So the animal, like, made a big thing of, like, Boog has to take them with it, because it's his fault. And so when Boog first ran into the muscle-headed deer, I don't know what his actual name, so that's just what I'm gonna call him, right?
The Kronk deer.
Yeah, the Kronk deer. Like, he did this, like weird, like, intimidating leaning thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think I'd get what you
And, like,
mean.
Boog, like, of course, leaned back because intimidation. But, like, during that bit, he tries to do it again while they're trying to convince Boog to take them with him to the shed. But this time, Boog doesn't actually, like, flinch from it. And realizing that, the deer just, like, starts crying and begging him to take them.
Never mind.
Yeah. So then so Boog decides to actually help the animals, but, like, they start stealing supplies from a camper van that's nearby to set up defenses for the hunters. So when the hunters come, the animals can chase them off and avoid hunting scenes, which they do in a very strange action scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just strange.
There was a side story with a dog called Mr. Weenie and his owners. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened with the jokes there, if I'm being honest with you.
I mean, the majority of the jokes on Mr. Weenie come in the second one anyway.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But, so we have, after they chase out all the hunters, during the chaos, like, Boog starts to hear the, like, Teddy Bear Picnic song. At which point, of course, Sean shows up, and there's one last standoff there.
Yeah, good action.
Where, Sean shoots Elliot, and then, I think that, like, Boog actually, like, I think that's when Boog, like, actually legit lets out, like, a proper roar for once throughout the movie as a bear. And then he, like, somehow bends Sean's gun in, like, to tie him up, even though that's not how guns work.
Yeah. But still, he's a bear, he can do what he wants, even though it would have just broke the gun.
Yeah, I forgot bears defy physics.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Also, like, what I find funny about, like, as soon as Sean's tied up, all the animals just fucking start beating on him.
Yeah, that's a bit brutal.
Including Elliot.
Yeah. Mind you, that
elbow drops him.
I mean, I don't blame him, man. He's hunting animals that are, like, not, endangered species. I mean, that are...
Like, Sean is... Like, they did say that Sean's, like, the most dangerous hunter, because, like, he's... Like, if you look at his cabin, it's filled with just dead animal heads.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if there was loads of deer, too many deer and too many bears, and they were causing a raucous. But when there's just a few, he was like the only bear there, and there's a few deer, a few ducks.
He actually was legit the only bear.
So I don't
the only
really...
other bear we see in the entire trilogy is in the third movie, and
Yeah.
it's a fucking circus bear.
Yeah. So the thing is, he's. I think there was a woman bear as well, a female
There
bear.
was, yeah.
But the thing
There were
is,
two bears. Anyway, we'll get to the third one in a minute, anyway.
yeah, but Boo, he was sort of, I don't know. I don't like hunters who just like hunt when there's no point to it. Like,
Yeah, they hunt for the sake of hunting.
yeah.
Like, I can understand some animal parts can be used in like medicines and stuff. Like, there's a limit to how much you've got to do.
Totally.
Don't hunt them to extinction. Like, if they're overpopulation, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, don't do it just for the sake of hunting. Like, no. Like, there's probably gonna be someone listening to this who heard me say that and be like, "Bitch, you should have hunt animals." Period. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, if bears, like, for example, if the bear population gets too big, like, bears fucking will attack people.
Yeah.
Especially polar bears. They go out their way to fucking try and kill people.
Yeah, dickheads.
Yeah. Tigers, if you have your back turned to them, they will actually attack you.
Yeah. I mean, if it's self-defense, I don't mind. But if you're going out there looking for trouble and there isn't an overpopulation of animals, then I've got no time for you.
But like, as I said, like, there are several situations where animals do legit just attack people because they can.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, there's a tribe in a jungle somewhere, I don't remember its name, but they often are known for being attacked by tigers to a point where they've invented a mask that they wear on the back of their head that makes it seem like they're always watching.
Oh, okay.
Because the idea is a tiger doesn't attack unless your back is turned.
Oh.
So that mask makes it seem like they're always watching.
Are you
so
sure about that?
Go in.
So could you walk backwards from a tiger and just keep looking at it and it won't attack you?
Yeah, the tigers. Despite a tiger's size and strength, it's an ambush predator.
Oh,
It
bloody
tends
hell.
to go for prey that's not watching or not expecting.
I
So
wonder...
a lot of like, very rarely does a tiger attack you head on. A lot of time it does like ambush.
I wonder what a tiger thinks will happen if it attacks you, like what it thinks you can do by looking at it.
So like, well, I think the way that they see it is if the prey can see you coming, they'll either run or they'll fight back based on what they are.
Ah, okay.
Like, if a tiger tries to square up to a bear, the bear is going to fight back.
The bear's going to kick its ass, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, Shaw's just a dickhead. I suppose it makes him a half-decent villain.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so,
Open season, decent film,
yeah.
worth a watch.
It's another one of those I put in the bid of, you're not missing anything from not seeing it, but it's, like, not bad enough that I'm saying don't watch.
I think it's worth one watch. It's just a bit of decent banter.
Yeah, it's worth at least one watch.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it in the bin of, it's worth at least one watch, but you're not missing overly much. Like, it's not super groundbreaking.
Yeah. It was
It's in the
Sony's...
bid of must see.
Sony Animation's first film, I think. I think it was their first film. I think they should have just stuck to PlayStation, to be honest. They shouldn't have made a film company as well. I know they are sticking to PlayStation, but, you know, daft. But yeah, Open Season 2.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
So Open Season 2, this is a weird. So Open Season 2 focuses around the dog we mentioned, Mr. Weenie.
Mr. Weenie! Yeah, good old Mr. Weenie.
Yeah. So to explain this one, so at this point, like, all the animals like are living in the forest now, like they're getting along. Mr. Weenie, like, is enjoying the wildlife as well from his domestication. But he gets found again by his old owners, and they take him back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his owners weren't bad. They were maybe a bit cuddly, but they weren't, like, bad.
Yeah, that was alright, yeah. Didn't they get a load of new dogs, though?
No, those are, like, other dog owners.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Like, they're part of, like, one of those, like, dog walking clubs or something where, like, they have a bunch of friends who have dogs and they all, like, have play dates.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so they do that.
I do really need the toilet, but I can't really remember much from Open Season 2, so you can
I'll
just
do this
review it
bit
without me.
Yeah, alright, I'll see you. Alright, I'll see you in a bit then. So, Mr. Weenie gets found by his old owners and taken back in. Boog and them start a road trip type journey to get him back. All the while, we meet this other dog. I think it's named Snowball or something. Or it's a white dog who's incredibly fluffy, and he hates wild animals to a point where he will try and kill them. And a lot of the point of that is apparently when he was a pup, a wild animal spooked him and his tail touched the electric fence, which gave him the tiniest fucking burn on the end of his tail. He's the villain of the movie, because obviously Boog and them are wild animals. He hates wild animals, but they're there to try and get back Weenie. And thus, plot point ensues. So from that, you can guess. They eventually, Mr. Weenie eventually does end up loving his, pet life again when they go to, this weird dog-centered water park. It's a water park and resort specifically for dogs. It's basically like an animated version of the fucking Hotel for Dogs movie. If anyone's actually ever seen that. But basically, yeah. So they do actually manage to beat the dog, but Mr. Weenie doesn't go back with them, deciding to stay with his pet. There's also a subplot during this where Elliot is supposed to be getting married to his love interest from the first movie, but he's having cold feet about it because he broke his antlers and believes that, without them, she won't love it. So that's, the little subplot on that movie. And, yeah. About all there really is to it. The third one's not as good as the first. The second one's not as good as the first, but it's one of those, I've seen it once, but I never really felt the urge to see it again. So it goes into that bin. So unlike the first one where it's I say it's a buff A watch, this one's one of those, if you see it, but it's again not really groundbreaking. You're not missing much. It falls into that bin of it's the sequel for the sake of having a sequel, not to actually advance any. It's not like Kung Fu Panda or How to Train Your Dragon, where the sequels are actually continuing to add to the story. It's just a sequel for a sequel. That follows a character we know we met only at the ending of the last movie. Now, Open Season 3. I don't know if I should wait for James to get back for this one, or if I should just start going for it. So I'll start it down, I'll fill James in when he gets here. So Open Season 3. Boog feels like his life is kind of become a routine at this point. He's basically he's kind of like the errand boy for everyone in the jungle. But they have this guys' night that they do every so many weeks or something, or every month. But he finds that none of his friends are going to it this time because they're all married or have a love or are busy with other things. Feeling a bit just generally down and all that, Boog tries to go find a general something to do, and he comes across a circus.
Oh, we're on the third one. Cool.
Yeah, we're on the third one. I finished the second one. I was like, should I start the third one or wait for you to get
Yeah,
back?
yeah, you should.
I'll start it and you would jump back in when you got here, because I figured you would figure out where I was.
Yeah. What did you end up saying about the second one then? The final
so I just
thoughts?
generally gave a rundown of the plot, that it was full, and then I said my review of it was, it's one of those movies that it's not as good as the first. It feels like a sequel for the sake of a sequel.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, if you happen to have seen it or it's on and you're watching it, good for you, but it's not really like one of those. I would say like it's worth at least one watch because it legit is just a sequel for the sake of a sequel.
Yeah, the thing is, there were with open. I know you're talking about the third one, but with open season, there was no need for a sequel. The arc was over. Boogie's in the wild.
I think. Oh yeah, another thing I said on the second was it follows a character we literally saw at the end, like only met at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Like, because even though we see Mr. Weenie throughout, we only ever actually properly meet him at the fucking end of the first movie.
Yeah. And all the original voice actors didn't come back, so the quality of the film wasn't even worth a sequel. Not just story-wise, but the quality, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. And the second one, I feel like it didn't really amount to much because Mr. Weenie still decided to go back to being a pet, which is like, okay, so his arc from the first movie as well.
Yeah.
Because also his whole thing in the first movie that he didn't want to be a pet anymore.
He didn't want to be domesticated.
Yeah, and at the end of the second movie, he's back to being domesticated, so that literally felt pointless.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I've done a general rundown of, like, the beginning of the plot. So we're on the bit where Boogs finds the circus.
Okay.
Is where I left off before you got back.
And he meets that dog shit bloody llama who's just weird.
Yeah. So, Boog goes to the circus and he finds another bear there. And they make a deal that, like, they swap places for that day, so Boog can experience, like, something, and that bear can get out. Like, the bear doesn't tell Boog this, but he actually isn't planning on coming back, because he doesn't want to be a circus, like, bear anymore. He wants to be a wild bear, because he remembers when he was a wild bear, he was fucking king of his, like, forest.
Mm.
And he assumes Boog is as well, when Boog's the fucking errand boy for everybody. So, yeah, so they swap places, and as you can imagine with Boog, so Boog just starts trying to adjust the circus life, where he meets a female bear there and falls in love with her.
Yeah.
There's also, like, fucking Llama, who is a bit of a nerd, but
bit of a weirdo.
Like, he ends up becoming a friend there. Like, he's a nice guy, he's just a bit of a... He's also kind of, like, he's one of those controlling friends as well, to a degree, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think you're giving too much detail to a character that was just absolute crap. But fair enough.
You gotta look between the lines, dude.
True, I guess.
That's the whole point of doing these weird, like, in-depth analysis of these videos.
Yeah, I get you.
Is like you gotta look at the characters for what they are, even if they are like shitboards.
Yeah.
So yeah. So while Boog's trying to adjust the circus life, he hasn't realized at this point yet that the guy's not coming back. Mm-hmm. The other guy has basically more or less taken over the forest because, you know, he's a fucking bear.
Mm.
So it kind of makes sense. Like, he would just do whatever at that point. There's not many animals that will challenge a bear.
Mm.
So, you know, but they eventually find out it's not Boog, and, like, the animals trash him like they did Boog in the first movie and make him go, like, tell them where Boog is.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Boog's realized that the circus is leaving soon, and if he doesn't get out, he's going to be gone from the forest forever. Eventually, like, the douchebag bear actually does, like, have a bit of character development here, and actually decides to go back and live in the circus with the female bear leaving Boog.
Mm. And then that's the end.
Yeah, that's basically the story.
Well,
of the
a film that didn't need a franchise that didn't need a sequel and did not need another sequel at all. I mean, bloody hell! What a load of nonsense. From what I remember from the third film, it was sort of funny, weird, like a weird, funny film. Not funny as in witty, but just funny, weird. But I just remember it being really boring and not much happening, really.
It was not that. It's another one of those. It's a movie that wasn't needed, but for some reason was made.
I mean, maybe there was a minority of fans who just loved the open season universe and characters and were just desperate for more stuff.
Maybe.
I mean, the third one was straight to DVD, so...
Yeah, like, if it's a straight to DVD, 9 times out of 10, it's awful.
Yeah.
because they don't put the effort in it because it's not going to be a cinematic.
Mm.
There are like a few straight to DVD movies that are good, but they're very few and far between.
You'd think because the thing is, crap films get put in cinema sometimes, so you'd think even if a straight to DVD film, even if that film was a bit crap, it could make some money, so why not put it in the cinema? But no, it's so bad and they have so little faith in it that they're just like, nope, straight to DVD.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reasons straight to DVD movies are bad because, like, there's some cases where they're good because the people decide, alright, we're still going to give our all for this.
Yeah.
But with a lot of them, it's just one of those, there's no, like it's going to be straight DVD. Most people won't even know it's there. Why give it the time of day to actually put effort?
Yeah. But,
What happened?
anyway, let's talk about the next film. I forgot to tell you this, but Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, this one's actually good.
Yeah.
Alright, so Meet the Robinsons. Oh boy, here we go. So, don't let that fool you, like, that, oh boy, here we go, because it is actually a good movie.
Personally, I'll just say straight off the bat, I thought it was okay, but I don't know, it just felt like they were rushing through everything loads and loads, and then I like the effort they put into it, because they did try to build a new world and build characters and make a unique story.
Fucking, like, the design for the future was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of a unique perspective.
Yeah.
Also, I like how each character, to a degree, was memorable. Because, like, they all had, like, their own, like, distinct quirks or individual, like, or personalities that showed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you could distinguish them between each other.
I mean, I watched the film quite a bit when I was a kid. I remember Lewis, his son, the kid with the black hair and quick, slick back hair. Goob, young Goob, adult Goob. He was quite banterous because it was quite funny how he was a brony.
Fucking, like, Goob was just, like, funny in general. Like, I think his plan for destroying the Robinsons was TPing their house.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
It's like he's telling Lewis about him trying to destroy, like, the Robinsons, like, house, and then it just shows him trying to TP them while yelling they stink.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking daring over. I was on the verge of destroying Robinson's industry, and then I met her, the fucking, like,
the
hat.
Yeah.
Which is, like, Doris, was it?
Yeah. And then but yeah, Goob goes back in time and messes up Lewis's. Oh wait, we were talking about the characters. The old bloke was kind of cool. There was this.
Yeah, the old man who has a face on the back of his head.
Yeah.
Like, it was like penned on the face. Like, my clothes aren't on backwards. My head is.
Yeah.
I used to tell it to my students. They didn't laugh either.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's there's the fucking, like, the wife who is actually, like, probably the most down to earth out of the family.
Yeah. Apart from she's like, I'm always right, but she's quite sound.
I mean, that's just the rule of marriage.
Yeah. True.
Like, that is just the rule of marriage.
Yeah. And what other characters? They had a pet dinosaur, didn't they?
They got that at the end. Oh, well, not at the end, but we'll get to that because they didn't actually start with that, but they did get it.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'll explain it. So let's get down to the actual breakdown of the story. So, Meet the Robinsons follows a kid named Lewis.
Lewis!
Who is a orphan. He's incredibly smart, but he finds himself incompatible with other families because they're, like, he always tries to make inventions and stuff to show off his smarts, and it often backfires. Like, the one we see at the very beginning was, like, he made a machine to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but the family was allergic to peanut butter. You see how this is going. Yeah. And the kind of jokes they're going here. Yeah, so with that, like, so Lewis just eventually gets to a point where he gives up on trying to be adopted because of how many failed adoptions there were. And he decides to build a machine to hack into his brain and find the memory of his mom to go find her. Yeah. At the time of doing this, another kid shows up and starts acting very, like, weird or suspicious around the school. Like, they're like looking for a bowler hat guy, who turns out is from the future, so is the kid, as we find out. And the bowler hat guy actually like destroys Lewis's invention, or like turns it off, so it causes a mass thing, like to stop it, and then he takes the invention, fixes it himself to try and sell it off. Except he doesn't know how to turn it on.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our main thing of the story. So they end up going to the future to like try and like rebuild like the machine, as well as some other things happen. And Lewis ends up meeting Wilbur. That's his name, the other kid.
Mhm.
Lewis ends up meeting Wilbert's family, who are all very eccentric characters. Like, it's something like each one is unique in a way, to the point where you could legit pick them apart once, like, if you know their name. Personalities are completely different between them.
There was a superhero one, I remember.
Yeah, there was a superhero pizza delivery man. There was one who was dressed like a city. There was one who flies and has paint. There's the grandma and grandpa who are just bats. There's the fucking twins who live in the flower pots outside the house and constantly ask you to ring their doorbell. There's the octopus, who is the doorman. Stuff like that. There's the brother who has to shoot himself out of a cannon. And there's the girl who has, quote-unquote, toy train that is an actual train. And so on. And there's the guy who's married to his puppet on his...
Yeah, that was bizarre. That was very weird.
It was a very eccentric...
I don't know why that had to have so many characters, though. I would have preferred just, a smaller family. I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, so while they're at lunch, while they're having food, one of the nights, Goob, who is the bowler hat guy, arrives to try and kill Lewis for some reason. Oh no, he's not trying to kill Lewis, he's trying to capture Lewis, because I remember it's a bit they're in the house, okay, what should I do? I know, I'll blow it up. Yes, wait, no, that will work. Then he'll be dead.
Yeah.
He needs Lewis to fix the machine.
Yeah.
In order for them to in order for him to do his plan, he needs to fix the machine.
Yeah.
But he can't do it without Lewis. So he sends a mini version of Doris the Hat into the past to get a dinosaur. Which goes as you would expect to. The Robinson family actually managed to deal with the dinosaur, and it just kind of becomes a pet.
Yeah.
At this point, of course, Lewis runs off because Wilbert reveals to the family that he came from the past, and his family very quickly they figured out upon seeing Lewis's hair who Lewis is, and they tell Lewis that he has to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
at one point he gets captured by Goob, where Goob reveals that he is Goob, who is Lewis's roommate back when they are orphans.
Yeah.
And Goob is convinced Lewis ruined his life because he kept the Goob up, and thus Goob lost the baseball game.
Which I don't really see how that would ruin anything, because it wouldn't have one baseball game. Come on.
That's the joke. If you listen to the dialogue, it didn't actually ruin much, but he's acting like it did.
Yeah.
The kids are still friendly to him. He's they all hated him.
Yeah. All right, Goob. Hello, Goob. They all hated me.
Yeah, hey, Goob, drink around my house? They all hated me.
I mean, I think...
He even brought it up to him not being able to get adopted. But yeah, when they shows you the scenes, it's him freaking out because and trying to explain to them why he lost the game when they don't really fucking care. So, legit, that's the joke of, it didn't actually ruin his life, but he acted like it did.
Yeah.
So that happens. And, at which point, Lewis, Goob also reveals that the quote-unquote, Robinson's person they've been mentioning about Frankie, and the guy who's made his sworn enemy is actually Lewis's adult form in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah. From that, Doris eventually does manage to get the plan done, and they go back in time to hand the machine in, and it alters the future in the sense that there's now a ton of like Dorises everywhere.
Yeah.
So I should explain who Doris is, because I keep saying the name, but I don't know if anyone's actually going to know who that is.
They're a hat with a camera on it.
Yeah, so Doris is a hat with like multiple things. Like it has a camera, it has like mechanical hands, all sorts. It's basically it was supposed to be a helping hat, but it was like, but it went rogue with AI, and it can actually mind control people.
Yeah.
If it's on their head. Like with with Doris taking over the future, Doris like either is taking over and possessing people, or it's outright killing them. Because you actually see it kill Goob. Although you don't see the body on screen, it's pretty obvious that they killed him.
How did they do it to him? Did they just all rush him or something?
If you look, like a bunch of hats like pin him, and then you see and then you see one hat, like the last one you see before like it cuts away from that bit, like pulls out a bunch of like the claws and they start spinning, and then then it cuts away.
Oh, okay. Oof. Never mind. Goob was a bit of a fool to team up with her then.
Yeah, but he didn't know this was what she was planning. Because like when Lewis actually reveals this to Goob, because he goes back to the past to stop this, he shows this to Goob that what Doris was planning, and that Doris was using him.
Yeah. Quite a shame, because why would a hat want to help people? Daft.
That's the joke. Like he tried how Lewis beats Doris is actually kind of like somewhat smart given the time like travel aspects. He says he's never going to invent her,
that
and
was
he
quite
sticks
good.
to that, and thus since she's not invented, she doesn't exist now.
That was quite cool.
Yeah, I actually did like that they did that. Like that was how he beat Doris.
Yeah. Easy work from Lewis.
Because in a way you think about it, it means Doris was her own downfall because she stopped herself getting invented by doing this.
Yeah. Can I just say something that I actually like from the film though? What's the kid with the slick back hair called? Lewis's son.
Wilbur.
Wilbur. He I like at the end how he drops Lewis off to meet his mom, even though it could stop Wilbur from existing and all this.
Like he kept his promise in the end.
I mean, that could have destroyed the whole future and everything, but Wilbur still was prepared. You know what? I said I'd do this then. Whatever.
Yeah. I like how it's revealed as well that Lewis is actually the one that rang the doorbell for the adoption place.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Because if you watch the scene, his mother doesn't actually ring the doorbell. She runs away after dropping him off, and Lewis is the one that rings.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah, I do like that they bring it round, but back to that.
Yeah.
That was a good touch. That was a nice touch, I thought.
But then Lewis chooses not to, and then that bloke with the head on the back of his head, with the drawn face on the back of his head, adopts him.
Him and his wife end up adopting Lewis, and thus kicks off the events of the movie.
So yeah. A for Ambition, bit of a weird film which didn't make much sense, but kind of funny.
It's a good movie overall, though. Still.
Yeah, I mean personally, alright, I guess. Decent laughs.
I see a lot of people say it's a really.
Yeah, each to their own. Decent laughs, I guess. Weird story, like the environment. A for Ambition, because I like the meaning in it. You know, keep moving forward. And this was at a time when Disney bloody weren't doing well at all. So
yeah.
A for Ambition and effort, in my opinion, but bit of a weird
I do agree the family was a bit big, but at least each one of them was the unique character.
Yeah, but for me, they didn't.
They weren't all the same.
You couldn't really get that invested in them because there were so many of them, though.
Yeah, but I think they were mostly there for gags.
I guess. But yeah, decent, okay-ish film, I guess, for me. But you said it's good, so yeah, mixed bag.
They obviously each to their own, but I've seen a lot of. He has very high regards from a lot of people I've seen. So yeah,
fair enough. Anyway, next film. Which film did I say? Oh man, we did Kung Fu.
I don't remember. We did the Kung Fu Panda trilogy last time. So
that was the final one. That was the final one we did last time.
Was it How to Train Your Dragon?
That's 2010, but
Oh, we're not there yet. Okay.
Finding Nemo, we forgot to do that. Then we was going to do.
Finding Nemo.
Then we was going to do Over the Hedge.
Oh yeah, okay. We'll do Finding Nemo. I'll do Finding Dory because I've seen that, and you told me you hadn't. And then we'll do Over the Hedge.
Yeah.
So
all right then. Bish bosh bang, let's go. Finding Nemo, pretty good really. A bit too babyish for me now, but when I was a kid I loved it. Good characters, good story. Some good action scenes. The sharks are actually hilarious. I rewatched some of their scenes and they were actually...
the fact like the sharks are fish are friends, not food. Like, they're actually friendly.
Yeah, they're top banter.
Yeah. I do like how as well, like, when Bruce, the fucking Australian shark, also, really, an Australian named Bruce? Just gonna say it now.
No.
That is like the most like stereotypical Australian Aussie name you can come up with.
Name's Bruce!
The name's Bruce.
What a lad. What an absolute lad.
Yeah, I like how with the sharks, like, when Bruce, like, gives into, like, a hunger pang because he smelled blood, the other two sharks try to restrain him.
Yeah. In the major! Lad,
Yeah.
What legends, man. What absolute legends.
Yeah, like, they actually were friendly,
Yeah.
which is good. But, yeah, because that's actually a legit thing with sharks. If they smell blood or urine, they actually do go into a hunger craze.
They're after urine as well. I thought it was just blood.
Yeah, if it's blood or urine, they actually do enter a hunger craze like that.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
They actually kept somewhat accurate to the actual animal.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the story follows this overprotective fish called Marlin because he says to his wife, Coral, he's like, we'll name this half Nemo Jr. No, Marlin Jr. And we'll name this half Coral Jr. And then she's like, I like Nemo. Then this fish comes out and eats them all.
Yeah, then the only one that doesn't get touched, that, like, managed to survive the incident, even though the egg was cracked, which is probably why he has the small fin,
Yeah.
was Nemo.
Yeah, I mean, you can... it's good that you can understand where Marlin's coming from with his overprotective nature.
Yeah, when you think about, like, when you look at the situation, it makes sense why he's overprotective. He did kind of just lose everyone else in his family, but...
Yeah.
So, with Marlin being so overprotective, Nemo, like, he doesn't let Nemo do anything. Right, like, it got to a point, like, where apparently, like, it was a big deal for Nemo, to the fact that he was being allowed to do school.
Yeah.
But, Nemo ends up Nemo, thanks to some other kids, ends up going and, like, they think it's a giant butt, but it's actually the bottom of a boat.
He touched the butt!
Yeah,
Class.
and because he went over there, he gets caught by a diver.
Well, that
taken back to...
No, but the things with that diver probably thought Nemo was, like, struggling. So
he actually did. Like, if you listen to his dialogue when he drops Nemo off in the fish tank, he's like, found the little guy like struggling out in the like coral reefs, rescued him.
Yeah.
Like the diver didn't mean anything bad by it. He legit thought Nemo was struggling and helped him.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, Nemo is a baby clownfish with a tiny fin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit annoying that he was going to give him to his niece though, when his niece bloody killed.
Oh yeah, his niece had a record of killing fish accidentally because she would shake the bag.
Yeah. Bit of a lunatic.
She didn't know when to stop shaking it, so she would often kill the fish by accident.
Yeah. Daft.
Yeah. So Nemo gets taken, and Marlin goes on a journey to try and get Nemo back. But on his way doing this, he runs into Dory, a fish with short-term memory loss. So she often forgets things.
Played by Ellen DeGeneres. You got to give that person credit, considering she's just a show host. She did a pretty good voice acting job.
She did, yeah. She actually did a really good job as Dory.
Like, I can't imagine someone like Bill Mather or what's his name, Jimmy Kimmel, being able to do a good voice acting role. So she did quite a good job there.
Yeah. Like, voice acting's not as easy as people think. Like, it's not just putting
hard.
on a different voice. You gotta actually become the character to do it right. Anyone can change the pitch of their voice.
Because, I mean, you see comedians who can just impersonate loads of people, and it's good, but they have to be able to play a character as well, you know.
Yeah, just changing your voice won't be enough to get in.
Unless
like, you have to actually, like, become the character.
Unless it's, like, a really small role or something.
Yeah. It's often why a lot of method actors do some, like, so it's one of the reasons, like, behind method acting.
Yeah.
Though method acting is one of those, it's both good and bad based on how you do it. Because there are some method actors out there who use it as an excuse to be assholes.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Bale, he's the craziest method actor ever, man. For The Machinist, he's 6'1", and he got his weight down to 110 pounds, which is mad.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is actually a method actor as well.
Oh, pretty cool.
He played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
And he was proper bulky.
Yeah, he put on 30 pounds of muscle purely for the role.
Yeah, so you got to respect him there.
Yeah. He also took boxing and MMA training for the role as well, so he could do the fights properly.
Yeah.
So he put the fucking work in.
Yeah. But then in his other roles, obviously, he's quite scrawny or maybe a bit chubby. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like there are some method actors who take it for, like, Jared Leto is one of the worst method actors because
he's just a dick to people.
He acts like a complete prick to everyone doing it.
Yeah, that's way too far, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, so in Suicide Squad, he played Joker, right? His method acting to get into Joker was, like, he would mail, like, the other, like, people on the set, like, use condoms and sex toys to try and get into character. And, like, he would harass the other members trying, like, get into character.
What a pillock, man. What an absolute pillock.
Yeah, like, method acting can be good, but you need to, like, do it for yourself. Like, don't bring other people into it.
Yeah, try and make yourself a loon in your own time. Don't ruin other people's lives.
Yeah, because a lot of the best method actors do it on their own, like, in their own time. They don't bring other people into it because you can act like a complete prick to them doing it.
Yeah.
They, like, when they stick into character, they keep it purely to themselves and do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, back onto the story, yeah. So, Marlon and Dory go on, like, some journey to Sydney to try and find Nemo. Where, in doing that, meanwhile, like, so they go across the entire ocean, basically, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst Nemo is in this fish tank in this dentist's office with a bunch of other fish who are trying to plan an escape. You have Starfish, who is just Starfish. You have the fish who's obsessed with bubbles.
Very weird.
You got the fucking cleanliness fish, who's fucking obsessed with, like, germs. You got the pufferfish, who's a pufferfish. You got the shrimp, who's like a butler.
Yeah.
And you've got Gil, who is the leader, and basically, like, he's got, like, a ripped up fin.
Because he tried to escape, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Because he landed on the dentist equipment when he shot himself out the tank.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? There was this crazy woman fish though. This crazy female fish who used to talk to herself in the mirror.
I mentioned her. I think.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she has dual personality disorder or something. Like, because like she believes her reflection is her sister.
Yeah.
But they're not, and she, like, kind of flips between them.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Overall, the main one who's interesting is Gil, in my opinion, and the butler dude's okay, I guess.
Yeah, like, the other ones are there purely for jokes, I think.
Yeah.
Like Gil is actually, like, a proper character.
Yeah. But, yeah, the action's quite cool. It's quite banterous when they get caught inside the whale, because she's like, Dory's like...
fucking do whale talk.
Yeah. Hello! Like, really slow talking.
That kind of deal, yeah.
Yeah. Class. Quite funny.
Yeah.
Then they get sucked inside the whale's mouth, and
yeah.
Then they end up getting shot out the whale in Sydney, so that's nice.
Yeah. The whale that she took them to Sydney.
Yeah, good whale. Good person.
Yeah. And then we got the pelican, who's actually a good guy. Like, he takes them to find Nemo.
Yeah,
and he's convinced them it is Nemo. He literally describes what Nemo looks like, so they trust him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, pelicans are normally known for eating birds.
Yeah.
They're birds are fucking fish. And then they run into a pack of seagulls who are all like, mine.
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 Banter
the joke
seagulls.
there is seagulls are known for eating anything and believe everything is food. Like,
Yeah.
it's often seen like that. If you, like, a lot of, like, so if you're a restaurant near the beach, you often have a sign up that says, "Once food's bought, we are not responsible if a seagull snatches it."
Yeah.
So, like, because as I said, like, if you eat your food near the beach, and you're not watching, a seagull will legit dive bomb and take your food.
Yeah, you just have to be careful, don't you?
You do, like, as I said, they'll eat anything they get their, they can, like, they'll literally eat anything.
Depends what beach you go to, how big it is, and what sort of food you have.
Like, a person I used to know actually legit told me a story once, like, they were on holiday, like, near the beach, they had, like, a chili or something. Just before they were about to eat, a fucking seagull flew by and went, and just, like, took their chili.
Irritating, man.
And they, like, flew off with it.
I mean, it ain't the end of the world, but it's got to be annoying.
Yeah, it's like, fuck seagulls, all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... Yeah, we've, that's, yeah. Once they get their Nemo back, they get caught in a net by a bunch of, with a bunch of fish, by a bunch of fishers, and they manage to tell the fish to swim down.
Swim down.
Yeah.
Class.
Because that's a trick they used earlier as well when Nemo got caught in a net as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Kid, swim down. That's what you gotta do. Class. And the Just Keep Swimming song is quite banterous.
Yeah. The thing is, if you look at the Just Keep Swimming song, it's basically like another one of those good messages, because basically it's kind of like, just keep going.
Yeah. Marlin's getting stressed, but Dory's like, oh, come on, mate, just keep going, what are you doing? Then Marlin's like, oh!
Yeah, like, he's incredibly stressful. Dory's just like, you just gotta keep going, like, just take your pace.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, great film, great banter. Kind of sad what happened to the other fish in the end, though, the fish in the tank, because they're just stuck in a fish bag. Now what? And then that's the end.
Yeah, they actually got into the water, but they're still in, like, the fucking water fish bags.
Yeah, really gutting. They're dead. Or are they in the second one?
They were in the second one.
Oh, they were? Oh, that's cool.
No, they weren't.
Oh, they weren't? Oh, they're dead.
Actually, I think they had a cameo at the after credits.
Oh, what happened to them?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Oh,
I think they cameoed in the after credits.
Hopefully they're not dead then.
Hopefully. But, yeah. Finding Dory. So, this movie starts off showing Dory as a baby. Right? So she's always suffered short-term memory loss, even as a child. And her parents, like, often, like, taught her, like, to how to tell people and talk to people. Like, so, like, they'll tell her, like, how to, like, tell people she had short-term memory loss in case she needed help. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, her parents were actually quite good.
Oh, that's nice.
So this is actually, like, yeah, like, for example, like, they would, like, put down a shell so she could find them, and then, like, so they'll put a shell down so she would find it, and then they'll put another shell in front of it, she could find that, and then they would move the previous one in front of that one to make her feel like she kept finding new shells.
Okay.
Because she liked shells.
Yeah.
Because here's the big thing there. They were actually fish in a aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
But Dory somehow got, like, out because she got caught in a, like, undertow thing. Which actually dragged, like, and because of her size, she got, like, dragged out of the tank and thrown into the sea from it. Right? Because, like, even though her parents told her not to go near the undertow, her, short-term memory loss kept, like, making her forget that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, she had, like, at the beginning, like, first, 10 minutes of the movie is just showing Dory as, like, a kid and how she got separated from her parents. As well as, like, seeing her try and get help, but constantly, like, suffer short-term memory loss is kind of sad as well. Then it cuts to the present, right, where, Dory's helping with the class from the teacher guy from the first movie. But then they pass by an undertow, and something about that word, like, triggers a memory in Dory. Because, you know, as she showed, like, cause she showed in the first one that she can remember things if, like, there's a trigger for it.
Okay.
Because I remember that she showed that in the first one, like, if there's something that can, like, jog her memory, she can't actually remember things.
That's cool.
And she like when they say when she hears like the undertow, she remembers her family. So then Dory goes off to try and find them, and Marlin and Nemo go after her.
Mhm.
Because they're worried about her, obviously.
Yeah. So do they take care of her then, because she's obviously slightly mentally incapacitated?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Dory eventually finds her way to the aquarium, where she finds a grumpy octopus who wants to go into like self-isolation because he doesn't like people.
Okay.
But to get into that isolation from the aquarium, you need a special tag. A tag which Dory got, but he doesn't.
Oh.
So they make a deal that if he helps her find where the tank her parents are in, she gives him the tag.
Mhm.
And so on. Also, like a lot of So yeah, that's more or less the plot of the story. We actually find out in the thing we meet a small like dolphin whale, who actually funny enough is the one who taught Dory whale speak.
Oh, okay.
There's also a manatee who is faking injury to stay in the aquarium. To a degree. If that makes sense, it's weird. Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's not a bad movie. It's not as good as the first, though, but it's not terrible. It's hard to describe it, like, and what's happening for some reason. Like, maybe because I haven't seen it in a while, but it's hard to give a plot down on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
The main idea of the plot is Dory's gone off on an adventure to try and find her parents.
Mm.
And Nemo and Marlin either go with her or try and go after her to, like, make sure she's okay, because short-term memory loss.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, so...
Yeah. There's like so much I can really tell. I haven't seen it in a while, but I have.
Well, let's move on to Over the Hedge then.
Okay, so Over the Hedge. This one follows
It follows Bruce Willis.
Is he a raccoon?
Yeah. Bruce Willis plays the raccoon. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a raccoon. I wasn't sure if it was a raccoon or something
Bruce
else.
Willis.
So he plays a raccoon named as RJ. Who so RJ is a raccoon who like steals food from people to live. Like you see him at the beginning of the movie trying to get food from a vending machine.
Yeah.
But every device he has to try and get him out breaks. So then he has the brilliant idea of I'm gonna take food from the fucking like local bear.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the bear clearly knows who RJ is because when he actually wakes the bear up, the bear even mentions him by name.
Yeah, he's like, RJ, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like, you woke me up a month early? And then he sees, like, RJ has, like, a wagon with all of his food, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, like, and then RJ accidentally knocks the wagon out of the cave, and it gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
So then the bear is gonna eat RJ, but RJ, like, says he'll replace everything, so the bear gives him a month to replace everything.
Yeah, which, I mean, in that month, RJ could just leg it to another state, so I don't know what he was doing, faffing around there, trying to get...
Animals tend to be, like, territorial to a degree. Like, they don't often leave their homes unless they have to.
Yeah, but this is life or death. But I get you.
Yeah, like, why don't most small animals fucking run away then when there's a fucking animal predator around?
That's true.
By that logic, yeah, so, RJ, like, so there's a bunch of other animals who found the forest had been cut short during hibernation, and a bunch of houses have been built around them.
Yeah.
Which have basically removed all the food trees, which means they haven't got food for next winter.
Mm.
Which RJ shows up and convinces them they can get easily enough food if they rob the humans.
Yeah.
More or less, that's basically what he says.
Yeah, I mean, I think the story's okay. Like, it's just a bit repetitive. They just go on a load of hijinks to rob food, and they live in the hive.
Yeah, like half the movie is just showing them trying to get the food, and then you got the fucking person in charge of the little cul-de-sac area, who like realizes like the animals are stealing food from the bins and people, and calls an exterminator.
A verminator.
Yeah, the verminator.
What a lad.
It is actually, like, the funny thing is, like, one of the bits of dialogue she has fucking like contradicts what she says. And this is why I called an exterminator, to kill them before they get hurt like this. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And she also goes a bit far with it for the fact that she literally like specifically asks for an illegal piece of equipment. Because like, the guy even says like this.
Oh shit. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I heard the drop noise and I stopped talking.
Yeah. What were you saying then?
So she what was the last thing you heard me say before that? Just so I know where to go, where to pick up from.
You said about the woman in charge said, "Oh, kill them before they hurt themselves like this." Then I mentioned the Verminator, and then I just went blank.
Yeah. So she actually orders a special piece of like house defense equipment against animals from the exterminator, and the piece of equipment is illegal. Like he even says it's illegal in every state except Texas. But she still requests it, so he sets it up. And this ends up being like her downfall at the end because the cops arrest her for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so all the food gets like destroyed again by a fucking turtle because he feels like if he hands the food back, the humans will get rid of the exterminator.
Yeah.
So, but they do one last food raid because RJ like convinced him he can replace all the food he destroyed. But again, what you gotta remember is RJ is planning to hand this food to the bear to save his own skin. But the other animals don't know this. Mm-hmm. So, RJ has, so while they're doing that, RJ lets it slip that if he doesn't get a specific piece of food item, he will be food himself to a bear.
Yeah.
So then he escapes with the food and the other animals get captured. And he hands the food to the bear, but then realizes the bear says a specific piece of line that makes RJ decide to go back and save them.
Yeah, because it's something like, you're becoming smarter, and you're looking out for yourself. You're a lone wolf, something weird like that.
Yeah, he goes on and mentions that, if you look out for only yourself, you'll have everything you want. And RJ basically has that realization of, I already had with this group.
Yeah, which is a nice revelation.
Yeah, so he ends up so he actually kind of takes the food wagon that he gave to the bear to get to the exterminator's van, and of course since he just took the food from the bear again, the bear goes after him.
Yeah.
And ends up attacking the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite funny. Good sequence.
Yeah. They eventually get to this point where the humans are trying to get them on one side of the hedge and the bear is on the other.
Yeah.
But they managed to get the bear to jump over the hedge and land on the people, which triggers the trap.
Yeah, it's because Hammy drinks the energy drink and the whole world slows down.
Yeah, so there's a squirrel in it who is really fucking quick.
Yeah.
And if we give him an energy drink, he apparently gets so hyper that he moves so fast that time slows. And he uses this to activate the defense things on the other side when the bear jumps over the hedge.
Yeah.
Which, of course, as you'd expect, basically is what ends up getting beat. At the end, the bear's dressed with a fucking Hannibal Lecter thing. He's got a fucking face mask on. He's in a state jacket.
That was some decent banter.
Yeah, and then RJ ends up staying with the other animals as a member of their family.
Yeah.
And that's basically over the hedge.
Yeah, I mean, some of the jokes were decent. William Shatner was quite funny in it when he was overacting as the possum, because possums are known for overacting because they have to play dead.
Yeah, the possum strategy is play dead.
Yeah, so decent film, decent jokes. Nothing really great, to be honest. It just felt really repetitive, then some good action at the end, and some good storytelling, a nice moral at the end. RJ loves this new family. He doesn't want to be on his own like he was before, and that's that, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that they didn't give RJ a super tragic backstory, or if they did, I didn't see it. Because a lot of characters these days who are loners are just given a broken backstory, or they're a loner because this shit happened in their past.
Yeah.
Not just because they're a loner. Because there are people out there who legit are loners just because they don't like people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not because they're broken in some way.
Mm.
But, like, a lot of movies nowadays, like, if a person's a loner, it means, oh, they must be broken, or something's, like, happened. And it's annoying, but, like, they do that a lot.
It's just to get sympathy, but RJ didn't really need any sympathy because he started off as a bit of a tit and then he redeemed himself.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't a character who deserved sympathy at the beginning because he was an asshole.
Yeah.
You could tell from the very start, since he showed up, he was manipulating the animals to save his own skin at the cost of their food.
Yeah.
Because how long it took them to gather that food, when winter happened, they would have had no supplies to get by.
Yeah.
But, and yet, like, with RJ, like, he knew that and still, like, was making them gather the food for him to give to a fucking bear.
Mhm.
So there's that.
But yeah, onto the next one. Let's have a look. I think it's Igor and Astro Boy next. Yeah.
Okay, Igor. I've seen both of these.
Okay. I can't really remember.
about Astro Boy a tiny bit
Yeah.
in, like, the first one, but we can give a proper in-depth on it now, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll do Igor first, since that was the first one you mentioned.
Yeah.
I tend to go by order of which mentioned. So, Igor follows a society where, like, these people are set up being evil. Right? Like, they make inventions and the rest of the world pays them not to unleash them. Just had to take a quick drink because I've been talking a lot. My throat fucking hurts. Yeah. So, with that, so basically, if you're an evil scientist, you're basically a celebrity in that world. Right. Igor follows, well, if you were born with a hunch, you were basically considered an Igor, the lowest class of society.
Quite a shame.
Basically, you were supposed to serve the evil scientists. Like, that was your job in society and life. You were a servant. That was it.
Yeah.
And you were, like, trained to speak in a specific way. Like fetch supplies, all that shit. The Igor wants the Igor the movie follows wants to be an evil scientist and actually is probably the best in terms of invention build. You know what I mean? The fact that he literally made a character who's immortal, which is funny because that character wanted to die.
Oh, that's a bit dark.
So there's a lot of jokes in that movie around this character, and it says that every scene he's in, he's committing suicide in some way and coming back.
What does he do then? How does he kill himself?
So like, there's one bit where, like, Igor opens, like, a cupboard to get supplies out, and he's just sitting there with a stick of dynamite lit in his mouth, like, in the cupboard. And, like, Igor grabs what he needs, closes it, you just hear the boom.
Yeah, crazy.
And then he opens it, pulls out the rabbit's helmet, throws it aside as the rabbit regenerates from the helmet.
Crazy.
The idea is, like, so the rabbit has this, like, weird metal helmet on his head, right? By the way, it's a rabbit. So the rabbit is suicidal, and so he constantly tries to kill himself. He can't be killed, and he's super intelligent. So he kind of, like, he adds our dark humor to the movie.
Mhm.
As you can imagine.
Yeah.
The other character is a talking brain in a jar who is, despite being a brain, fucking stupid.
Oh.
Like, for example, he has this label on his jar, right? But he's supposed to have spelled brain on it. He spelled Brian.
No.
And that's often that's the joke in the movies. Like, the rabbit keeps calling him Brian.
Okay.
Like, because he knows it pisses him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see what kind of jokes the rabbit gives.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the rabbit's quite funny because he often adds the very dark humor. And it's just funny seeing the different ways he tries to off himself in each scene.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the movie, he does kind of like so I'll get to that bit later because there's another joke towards the end of the movie I'm going to use here. But yeah, so there's one device in the thing known as the Beacon of Evil, right? It's like a tower that stands in the middle of their town, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a reason I'm mentioning that now that's actually important. So Igor's master dies in one of his experiments going wrong.
Oh, bloody hell.
And Igor takes the opportunity to, invent his own creation for the, invention fair, where they show off their inventions and make them fight, and the one that wins is unleashed on the world unless they pay.
Mm-hmm.
However, they find his invention is nice in terms of, personality, but it's supposed to be an evil machine. So they take it to a brainwashing clinic to give it, a brainwashing thing to make it evil.
Oh, okay.
They go with Axe Murderer as the brainwash thing, but while their brain also asks if he can have a brain scrub in one of the other, containers, because he needs a brain.
Mm-hmm.
While doing that, he drops the remote in the water, because he's having a bath while his brain's being scrubbed.
Oh.
So he leaves his chamber, goes to the chamber with the machine, with the monster in it, and he takes their remote thinking it'll work for his screen.
Oh.
So he ends up changing the channel on theirs from the Axe Murderer to a fucking acting one.
A bit weird.
Yeah. So the monster ends up, which they end up calling Susan, ends up, acting like trying to act like an actor, because that was the brainwash thing they had.
Oh.
But, so despite being super strong, borderline invincible and all this, they're incredibly nice, wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movies, for the first part, Igor's trying to get them to, be evil, or, he's trying to, convince them to, do the fight by making it seem like it's a play, and, altering it. So, do you know Annie, the music?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, he tells her, she tells her that the play they're doing is Annie, but he tells her, he says, but the script's altered this time, so, Annie fights evil monsters during it.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's basically he's doing, all this to try and, get her to actually, do this fight. During this, there's another scientist known as Schadenfreude, who is seen as, the most famous evil scientist, but he's actually a fraud, since he steals the other scientists' inventions and uses them.
What a scumbag.
Yeah. He tries to steal, Susan, but, Igor tells him that she's not evil, and that. And he, she has an evil bone, but it never activated.
Oh.
And in order to activate it, she has to willingly commit an evil act.
Mm-hmm.
This scientist actually manages to get her to do it via manipulation.
Yeah.
And with her doing that, the bone's activated, and she actually does become a monster for a bit.
Okay.
But, during this, Schadenfreude also told the mayor that an Igor was inventing, which they weren't allowed to do legally.
Mm-hmm.
So Igor was thrown into what's known as the recycling bin. Basically a plant where if Igor stepped out of line, they're thrown in there and chopped into bits and then sold for parts.
Oh.
The all in there, so the rabbit's there as well, because he goes down there to help, to get Igor out. And he has a bit of a joke here. It's great, we're about to die just as I decide I want to live.
Banter.
Yeah, so the rabbit's actually pretty. So they manage to get out the plant because the rabbit realizes, oh right, I regenerate, so he just eats his feet off to get out of the thing, and then frees Igor from there when his feet regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
They find out that they're actually at the beacon and going. So okay, I feel like I missed something out, so I'm going to quickly double back. The reason the Societies decided to do this evil stuff is because clouds have covered their entire town and have stopped crops growing because no sunlight can get through.
Oh.
So this is how they've managed to survive as a society, is the mayor, convinced everyone that if they make evil inventions and the world pays them, the world will pay them not to unleash them, and they'll manage to make money to buy food.
Okay then, so how does it end and what do you think of it?
Alright, so I'm getting there. So they end up at the beacon of evil. Remember I mentioned that earlier?
Yeah.
So Igor has a weird thought. Is this really a beacon? So he climbs it to get to the top and realizes that it's actually a weather ray. It's like each beam shooting out the beacon is grabbing a cloud and adding it to the mass covering the city.
Oh, so this is all just some dickhead's evil scheme then?
Yeah, he built this thing specifically to stop the crops growing, so he could like set up this society.
Oh, okay.
Igor goes to the like thing where the inventions are fighting and manages to like get Susan to turn back to good.
Mhm.
And like he then like tells everybody like about the weather ray. And as you can imagine, like yeah, in the end things just kind of work out.
Mhm.
Igor becomes the new mayor.
That's nice.
Yeah, and the town's now an actual good one. Like the arena where the inventions used to fight was turned into like a stage for like plays and stuff.
Oh, cool.
This is one of those everything kind of works out in endings.
Mhm.
It's as from like so. That's my thought. So here's my thoughts. It can be funny. It's not groundbreaking, and it's up in the air whether you'll think it's good or not. It depends if you like what kind of jokes you like. Like I say, if you're a fan of like some dark humor, the rabbit will get a laugh out of you because like every scene he's trying to kill himself in some way, and he has like this really grim outlook on life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a legit bit like where when one of his failed attempts ends, he's like, "Will nothing end this misery that is life?" So if you have like that sense of humor, you'll like the rabbit. But yeah. But overall, like it's one of those movies. Like I'd say, like you're not missing anything not seeing it, but it's not a terrible. It's not super groundbreaking, and it's not absurdly good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to have a specific sense of humor to get some of the jokes.
I mean, I can't remember much from Igor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the story is kind of generic.
Mhm.
To a degree, it is a forgettable movie.
Okay. I think we've got time for Astro Boy then. Yeah, 1 minute, 1 hour 21. Let's go, Astro Boy.
Okay, Astro Boy. So Astro Boy follows a father who lost their son. So in an attempt to get their son back, they turn their son into a robot and use a thing known as the blue core. So the two cores are red and a blue. He uses the blue core to give the robot life, which this is Astro Boy. But afterwards, he has this like one of those realizations of like this robot is not going to be able to replace my son because it's a robot. So he ends up throwing them out. Right. Astro Boy ends up at like a area outside of like the city where he like ends up like living with some other kid. Right. And like that they also find this like there's also this run-down giant robot there that he gets back online. So at this point, Astro Boy knows he's a robot, like he can fly and has super strength because robot.
Mhm.
But he doesn't know any of his other abilities. He doesn't know like any of his other actual abilities. He just like knows that. He ends up getting kidnapped and put in like a robot fighting ring. Yeah, you can see this is getting like kind of. So, while this is going on, a usual evil politician back in the city, right, is like trying to build this like robot defense force thing to like help him like rule and control the city, but he needs the blue core for that. So he puts the red core in one of his robots to try and find it, and the robot ends up absorbing him, and the two fuse.
Oh, okay.
And so on like that.
Mhm.
And don't really know what to say about this one really. It's one of those, I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Me neither. I think I only saw it once when it came out.
Yeah. So I may not be remembering everything properly.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that in advance if my analysis of the movie isn't the best. It's been a fair few years since I've seen it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
So what do you think of it overall then? Or do you want to talk about the story a bit more?
I do believe it was a good movie. I did enjoy watching.
Okay.
But as I said, but I can't remember much about it, which can either be depicted to the movie itself not being super memorable, or like it being how long it's been since I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Well,
it can be considered too.
I think we can wrap up there nicely then. Got some reviews done, reviewed quite a few of them as usual. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for next week. So see you next time.
Yep. See you guys, and hopefully my mic quality will be better, but probably not.
Yeah.